So we're back on the build today. I have figured out what I need to do to put these posts up, but I am changing gears a little bit. My reasoning for it is simple. I need to get the trusses set up here, the joists and the trusses for this stick-built part of the roof. If I go ahead and set those posts in place, my concern is they're going to be sitting there, and every time it rains, they're going to absorb a little bit of water in the base of them. I want to minimize that as much as possible, so I want to go ahead and get this stick-built part done first on both sides. Then I'm going to come back to this, and that way we can get those set up hopefully in about 2 days, and then start working on bringing in the post and beam and a crane. What I've got to do up here before I can get anything started is at the top. At the top of these panels, you end up with a little 2x6 space that you need to fill with a spline. That spline connects all of these panels together and helps strengthen it and make it one unit. What I'm getting ready to do is drop 2 pieces in there so that I can start putting my joist hangers on the edge of that and frame this thing in. All right, let's clean her up. Yep, it's after 5. I said 2 minutes to 5. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna do that little trick. It's tomorrow? No, it's not gonna work. We'll be back tomorrow, finish up this wall, start getting the joist hangers on it. We're not gonna finish it up, but we are gonna get the joist hangers on there and start hanging some of those joists. So this will be fun. Hey baby, yep. Can you open that box of 16D nails and hand a couple to me? Well, more than that.
Oh, well, sorry. You put a couple.
Thanks. We're back out here today, and I am putting in the joist hangers up here. I am using some heavy-duty Simpson strong tie joist hangers, and I am using the Simpson strong tie fasteners as well. I've got their 16D nails as well as the screws that are specified, and I'm trying to decide which one I like better. I don't really know. I think for going in at the top into the side there, I like that long screw, and for going in from the top, I think I kind of like the nail. Before I could hang the joists across, I had to go back through and put a second top plate on all of the framing that we had done.
And I took the advice that some of the people had given me on how to get it laid in there to tie in all the sides a little bit better.
I'll be darned. You gotta be kidding me. Spot on the money. That is something else. Plumb there. Adjust it over this way a little bit. Man, that is good. That is good. I'm pretty excited about that. When we put this wall up, this is the first wall that went up, we went ahead and tied it into the internal framing to give it stability for fear that strong winds or something might be a problem. We put additional bracing on it. Make sure you can see that. We put additional bracing on it, both there and over here, but we tied it into the walls in a couple of places. Now the intention, we didn't really pay much attention when we did it to getting everything plumb before we did it, because the intention was to come back and fix it before we did any interior stuff and before we did the rest of the framing. But that is on the money plumb. Now this one, also on the money. I really can't complain about that. That is awesome. That means that I don't have to run around here and try to fix it. Now, over on this side, I don't expect it to be the same. And it's not. It's a little bit off. So I'm going to have to make a little adjustment over here. But I'm going to go ahead and put the additional top plate. Make sure I've got the top plate on the rest of it. And when I get that, I'm going to get that shored up and then start putting the joists across. Joists will probably start happening tomorrow, would be my expectation, because time is getting away from me and I haven't eaten anything since breakfast. So I'm gonna take a late lunch. One of the things to take into consideration when I put the top plate on here is that I've got a 6x12 beam that has to go in here. Now I've already removed the end support. I cut away the end support for this header. This header has to be moved inward, basically about an inch. I have a 6x12 fir post that is going to start right here at the edge and come in 12 inches. So that 12 inches brings it all the way to this line right here. I have to go ahead and cut away that line so that I have enough room for that 6x12 fir beam that's going to sit right here, coming straight this direction. And it's going to be right next to this wall, and it's actually going to tie into that wall. That's going to help support the post. That's going to help support the wall. All right, so that is going to work very well. I need to go ahead and replicate the cut up at the top. I got to cut that off at the top as well. First thing I need to do is go ahead and knock this header out. Comes right out. Well, I'm packing up now. Sun's gone. Coming back out here early tomorrow morning to start getting the trusses up on here, I think I can do pretty good tomorrow. I think we've got things set up pretty well. We'll see how it goes. All right, we are back on the build site. My buddy George is here helping me today. And as you can see, we've got a lot of joists up. Now, we haven't nailed them completely in. We've got a nail in over here holding them all into the hangers. And over on the other side, we've got about 12 inches of overlap. I had some questions from folks on the manner in which we are putting in these hangers. And these hangers go into the 2x6 that's on the top. I'm using screws that are specified by Simpson Strong Tie, so they do meet code. And then I'm holding them in crossover on the Simpson 16D nails. I've already marked it off 16 inches on center. I'm gonna go ahead and toe nail these into place, and then we'll get ready to put the other boards up going on the other side. Nice. And those are nice. Before I start, when I do the first one, I'll put the first one up. I'm going to start at that end, but the first one I want to attach is this one that goes from there to here. And the reason for it is this needs to be adjusted how this is going to be for plumbness. So I want to get this plumb and then toenail that one in. That'll hold it. Get the bracing off of there. That was just barely, wasn't it? Wait. Come on, what can go wrong? No, it's just gonna bust you in the head, knock you clean out. Yeah. Couple of teeth, maybe.
Make teeth. Make teeth in a day.
Cut that corner. Crazy, isn't it? More boards.
More bows.
Took forever. Well, they're in. They're all towed in. We've got all the joists in place. This hallway is going to remain open up to the ceiling so it doesn't get joists. Now, I'm sure there are plenty of experienced people out there who one or two people could have done the whole house in a weekend. I ain't one of them. To that I say, go ahead and do it. Good on you. This is what I did. I'm pretty pleased with the way it's turned out. I got to tighten a few things up here. I see some gaps. I'm going to need to come in and hammer those shut. Not a problem. And I'm going to come back in with my spacers and put my spacers in. As I was saying before my batteries ran out, we have the joists up for the ceiling. That looks pretty darn good. I'm rather pleased with it. I'm rather pleased. It's one side anyway. We'll start working on the other side next weekend. Sun's dipping down. I'm gonna say goodnight. Before I go though, I wanna brag on my bride just a little bit, because yesterday, while I was in here putting the joist hangers up, she was moving rock by herself all day long. Today, she spent the whole day in the orchard pruning, because the farm work doesn't stop while the house building is going on. But I have to brag on her, because she saw this erosion that was taking place in here and decided she was going to fix it. And she laid in a nice barrier to help slow the water down as it comes down this hill off the side of the driveway and into the drainage ditch. She laid all this in herself, and that is a lot of rock. And she threw some plants in there along with a couple solar accent lights. Pretty nice to have somebody picking up the slack for you when you're not able to get out here and do some of these other chores. Hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and hit that like button. Help us with the algorithm a little bit. Come on back and check us out again at Break Hard Orchard.